Good morning. 5 to 10 and all is well. Anybody there? Good morning, good morning. Good morning. 5 to 10. Early in the building again. That's the way we like it. Thursday already. Come on in. Good morning. Is anybody there yet apart from me? This is my microphone holding up. It was the batteries yesterday. I know. I checked. I did check. I always do check. I checked before yesterday's hour or doodle session in the SHAC, and I looked and it said they had 2 bars, and I thought, well, do you know what? That should do. And it didn't. I was 6 minutes wrong. So now I know. I tell you what. Yeah, lessons learned. There you go. Stick them all there. That's not going to happen again, I can tell you. You didn't miss anything, though. I was only waffling. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in. Come on in, grab a seat. We're early. I have got a stonking headache again. I think it's the weather changing, isn't it? Hey? What's it like where you are today? It's the last day of April today. The last day of April. Where did that month go? The sun's come out. It's raining, but it's sunny, which means that somewhere there's a rainbow. Thursday again. Come on in, good morning. Lovely to have your company. Do you know, I can't see with or without the glasses because the screen is so far away, but that's okay. I know you're there because I can see movement. And Steve, I hope that our Steve is in the building too today. So he'll be looking after you and answering any of your questions. Steve Ellen, he's been with me for many, many years. Yeah, nice man, nice man. Came to us as an 18-year-old lad, and now he's a married man with a beautiful daughter. Isn't that great? And a lovely wife, of course. Come on in, come on in. Good morning. Nice to have your company. We are in Japan. You do know that, don't you? This is about as Japanese as I could rustle up today with my statement. Look, my peg. I've decided I'm not even going to bother buying a clip anymore. I wouldn't know where to buy it, and nobody else seems too bothered. So, unless Jim, you're watching and you know what I need, you could order it for me. Yeah. So there we are. Good morning. Come on in. Welcome to the party. What's the time? 2 minutes to 10. Just time for a quick sip. Lovely day today here, really. At the moment. If you don't like the English weather, just wait a minute, right? How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you coping okay? Are you enjoying your doodling? Are you enjoying your escape? I am. Come on in. Loads of seats. Still a couple down the end here. Have you got your pencils? Have you got your paper? Have you got your Japanese, your doodle? I know we're on the geisha, but you know, it's fine. I like that we're working on a project and building it a little bit at a time. That's good, you know. Better than jumping around, hopping around everywhere. Do this, do that pattern, do this pattern. And then it has no, what's the word? Cohesion, no belonging together. You know, we need to have a sense of where we're going to use all these patterns and doodles, don't we? I sure do. And like I said to you yesterday, for me, it's important that I'm working on something, you know, and then when I wake up in the morning, I know exactly where I'm going again. I suppose it's like knitting or sewing, you know. Us card makers, we make the card and then bish bosh bish, isn't it? It's finished. Well, I say that, but you know, you kind of complete it before you leave the table, don't you? Whereas, let's say sewers or even parchers, they know how to just keep rolling, don't they, into the next thing and into the next thing. They build. And I think now would be a good time for us to learn that too, eh? Good morning. Come on in, lovely to see you. It's 10 o'clock. Here we are again in the SHAC. What does it stand for? Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. I apologise yesterday for losing sound about 5 minutes, 6 minutes before the end of the session. It was my batteries. My batteries died. I checked prior, thought I had enough. I was 6 minutes out. So there you go. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. Won't happen again. All right. So we've got plenty of batteries here. Should have been enough, but I waffled too much. I suppose that's what it is. Anyway, never mind. Come on in. It's lovely to have your company. The sun is shining in through the window. Everybody happy? Good, 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 good. Well, gambate, as Debbie told us. Gambate. We're here together. We're in Japan again. We're gonna doodle. And I thought, because yesterday we were supposed to do the cherry blossoms, and then we got carried away on the boulders, didn't we? Which was lovely. But I thought today, before we even start anywhere else, why don't we try the flowers? Shall we go to the flowers? Because we can always go back to the boulders, can't we? For those of you who are new to the fold, welcome to the SHAC. Let me show you what we're actually up to so that you can see, because they might be thinking, where am I here, right? Let's have a look where we're headed. Let's just check. I've come in quite tight. This is what we've been doing. So yesterday, for example, we'd been working on these boulders. Do you remember? I've come in tight so you can see more. There we go. We were working on the boulders. I've seen some beautiful work on Facebook, on Clarity Worldwide. Absolutely beautiful. And so this is the one. Look, silly me. Look, I folded it. Look. Keep it flat, girls. Look, I've crunched it. So I've been trying to flatten it this morning. So I thought what we could do today, because there's still loads of boulders here. Look, I got carried away actually, but I just thought, yeah, I want to try a couple of different patterns. But I thought now would be a good time to learn the flowers. If we do it right at the beginning of the hour, if we do it right now, then yeah, then at least we've done what we said we would do today. Is that okay? They're very easy. Well, I've worked out an easy way to do them. There you go. So let's take a piece of paper. Are you ready? Are you ready to go? I don't want to rush because we're supposed to enjoy this. This is not a challenge. Well, it is a challenge. It's not a competition. Okay, we're challenging ourselves, aren't we? But primarily, this is all about, if you are new in the SHAC, this is all about just all getting together, hanging out, giving us a place to go every morning, Monday to Friday at 10 o'clock. Just do something creative, get out of our heads, clear the mind, realign our thinking. That's all this is, okay? Nobody here to judge your talent, nobody here to compare your work with theirs, nobody here to tell you you're good or you're not good. You know what? You decide. This is about the joy of being creative, okay? It's boundless, really. So let's have a look. Shall we have a look? And you can see that I don't grab a piece of paper and go, oh yeah, I know how to do it. I practice and I practice and I look and I decide, and they look all exactly the same as yours are going to look. I am not a cherry blossom expert, but I worked out a couple of ways of getting a good cherry blossom going, right? So grab a piece of paper and let's just do it. Let's just do it. Hang on. Let's just have a practice. Right. So let's say, for example, you got a pen, you got a pencil. Let's do it in a pencil. Put her to one side for a minute. What we're going to do here is just concentrate on the actual flowers. Right, you ready? Easy. We'll do it large, but I mean, sorry to digress, but the largest one's this. Look, and let me just explain the size of it. If it's not even 1.5 centimeters. Do you know what I mean? So when you get to these little rinky-dink ones, you know, it's not crucial. Let's see if we go real close, you'll see See, it's in the mass, isn't it? The thing about cherry blossom, when you look at cherry blossom, all you can see is just a mass of pink or white, right? But I thought it would be nice to get the shape kind of sort of right. So what we'll do, we'll start with this. This is what I did, right? You may already be cherry blossom experts. Good for you, right? But what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a circle, just a circle like that, just roughly, right? I know you can't see it very well. Look, so I'm going to press a bit harder just so that you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to press that hard. I'm only pressing that hard so you can see what I'm doing. So actually, I'm barely touching the paper because in a minute I want to rub it out, don't I? See? So then what I'm going to do is make us a point. Now, if you wanted to change the angle, then you just move the centre of the flower. But let's just stick to the centre for now, right? And then what we're going to do, we're going to make a petal. Let's just have a look at the petal. See, if we just break down one of them, then the rest are easy, aren't they? So the petal, it's kind of like a, it's like that, let's say. Right, let me do it heavy so you can see it better. So it's like a kind of a, goes out and in. And then at the top, let's just give it a little divot like that, like a little V, right? So let's go again, let's try it again. Right, I'm going to put it on my flower now, like that, little divot. I find it easier to come in from the bottom and go up and then do my little V at the top. Right, so I'm going to go in heavy now so you can see. I'm not saying you go, see, that's why you don't want to go in heavy. Don't you go in heavy, I'm just doing this so that you can actually see what I'm doing, because I know that sometimes your camera, your screens don't give you that. Right, so it's that kind of shape, right? So like that, up there, like that, and back down to the middle. And then turn your paper and then do the same thing again. You're going to do 5 of them. In a perfect world, a blossom will have 5 petals. So let's do another one, like that. Okay, and let's just do them lightly to space them out first. We'll do another one there, out we go, like that. I've got 2 down the bottom, like that. Don't worry if they're a bit ropey. Let's define ropey, shall we? I've got one there, and I've got another one like that. Doesn't matter if they overlap, because, well, they do, don't they, petals? But you can even draw them overlapped. It doesn't matter. We're only doing a pencil. Do you see what I mean? So in other words, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that, in essence, is going to be every single little flower that you draw, apart from the ones that you do on the side, are going to be like this. So then you're going to go like that, like that, like that, little divot at the top, like so. The one down the bottom, go like that, and if it's behind, then put it behind. See? So now, this is where the cherry blossom sort of comes in. This is what makes it look like a cherry blossom, is when you give it the stamen with the little dots at the top. Okay, so I'm pleased with that one. See, and then if we pen it and we get rid of, is that all right? It's not bad, is it? See, and then you can get rid of your, let's get rid of your circle like that. I mean, obviously, if you pen it, then you can rub out all the pencil work, can't you? But you see, it looks quite good now. So you go like that, like that, like that. What happens? Trust me. I know, right? What happens is you get your eye in. So you do the first one, and then the next one, you get, it's like a habit. It's habit forming. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So that's the first one. Got it? Do a second one if you like. Let's do another one, but this time let's change the angle a little bit. So we've got our circle again. We'll do them large. I mean, like I say, don't make your circle so heavy. It's just so that you've got somewhere to draw towards, isn't it? So I'm just doing it, you know, you would really do it like that. Real soft. Okay, just soft. So you know that you've got something to draw towards. It makes it a lot easier. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the centre. I'm going to move it just up a little bit. So it's off centre, up there, right? Let's see if we can change the look. So what we want to do now, again, this is much heavier than you would do. We'll do the top one. Hang on. Talking, drawing, not so easy. we'll do the top one pretty much the same as we did before, right? So you're going to go like that, and it's going to be with the little thing at the top. Looks like a tulip really, doesn't it? I mean, all you botanists out there, don't start on me. Right, it's all in the bulk because you're doing so many of them. This is my interpretation of a cherry blossom. Okay. Right, so say I'll do that one. Then I'm going to turn this round, and the second petal, which is going to be here, right? Let's put the other one there. This one is going to be a little bit more now because I've got so much darkness, you can't see what I'm doing. This one's going to be a little bit more like that, a little bit more jaggedy. See? And we'll turn it round. This is just a different one. I'm going to lighten up my pencil line so you can see what the edge of my blossom looks like. So I'm going to go like that again. So I've got my kind of cup going, yeah? But then at the end of the cup, I'm going to do a little bit more like that, like a little bit rougher. Like a serration, if you like. Yeah? That'll do. Right, so we've got 3 now. Looking a bit ropey. Just keep looking at the nice one. Gives you hope. Right, now turn this. So then this one, let me just lighten up this edge so you, otherwise you're going to not be able to see what I'm doing. Right, you get the picture. So I'm going to come down to, now this one, I'm going to come down here, and again, I'm working along that pencil line, and I'm doing that same what I just told you. So these 4 are all a little bit more serrated along the bottom. That one there's a little bit on the big side. We're just going to get these ones down. Right, that'll do. So let's go over it again. That one's like that. That one's like that. This one is a little bit big. Right, it's only you haven't got to do this with every single one. But let's just get one right. Right, let's get the first one right. Right, so that's like that. And then that one's like that. Right, so we'll just take away the pencil line around the outside so you can see it better. So let's look at the difference. So this one's not symmetrical, but symmetrical, if you know what I mean, more equal. This one's got a bit of a serration going. You cool with that? Right, now comes the good bit. So bring that one in, like that. On this one here and this one here, what we're going to do is going to make from this end to that end, we'll come round the bottom like that, and you'll see when you do that and up the side, see how it suddenly looks like it's curling over, yeah? So then when you put these in, you put your little stamen in, establishing that they're a cherry blossom again, but because you've put this little edge around here like that, what you'll find is it makes it look immediately, if you were going to put a bit of shadow in there, like that, I'm not saying do it, but I'm just explaining that this gives you the optical illusion, if you like, look, that it's curled over. Yeah? Now, what we did when we were doing, oh, I had it in my hand. Let me just, while you're doing that, do you remember I had it, I was looking at it just earlier. This one, right, do you remember this one? Right, remember this one? When we did this, what we did was, I'm glad I hung on to the rough. Look, we did that, because we're up so close. Right, let's have a look at this one, by way of example. When we did our peony, this is just the opposite of what we're doing today, right? Do you remember we did this last week? Was it last week or the week before? Oh, how time flies when you're having fun. With this one, what we did was the other way round. Instead of bringing it round the outside, we done the smooth bit, and then what we did was we went on the inside and we brought the bit that's curling over in this way. Do you see the difference? Look, so all you do is go in there like that, and that's, you arrive at the same thing, but you get a completely different look. Do you follow me? So that one was how we curled over. Just to repeat that slowly, we had our circles like that, and then we went in on the inside and we brought the curl in like that. That's how we did that, right? Now this time, you all right with this? I'll have to put that back in my folder in a minute. So this time, instead of if I was to ink this one up, I've come in like that and I've done the jaggedy edge along there, like so. And I've done another one behind it like that. So this one's there, like so. Let me take away all the pencil marks so you understand. So that, this time, get rid of all that, right? Then you can see what we're doing is the opposite. We're bringing the bottom round underneath. So now you still arrive at the same place, except you've done the jaggedy bit. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, entirely up to you. I found it easier with these ones to change the perspective to do it this way, so that you put your dot in, then you go up and over. There you go. Make the artwork come to you. We've decided that that often helps, doesn't it? Then we'll make that one a little bit more jaggedy. We'll turn it round. This one was a little bit ropey, wasn't it? Look, I'm going to go again with this one. So this time the jagged bit's going to be there, right, like that. And then this one I'm going to bring in a bit further. Right, bingo. And then we'll bring our stamen in. I reckon this would be good. So I've got so much pencil work, I can't see what I've got and what I... There you go. Let's have a look. I'll rub it out and then I'll have a look. Oh, the joys of Faber-Castell erasers. Right, let me get rid of all the pencil work so we can actually see what we've got. There. Now, see? Then you can add your stamen and your dots. Do you remember right at the beginning when we started doodling together, I said that dots always make something, you know, like when we were doing the stylized things, and then we put little dots in. Look, watch this. As soon as you put a few dots in, you can use them to shadow, but it just adds such a delicate touch, and it's so simple to do, isn't it? Just to add a couple of little dots. Okay, so we've got flower number 1, basic, full on, yeah. Then we've got flower number 2, where we can add a little bit of depth down the bottom if we choose to, if we want to. But we've also, of course, you're going to look at flowers. Let's have a look from this angle, and let's see if we look from this angle. Excuse it getting a little bit fuzzy until it focuses. Right. Let's have a look. Let me get my head in. Let me see what I'm looking at. See that little one there? There you go. So you see, if you look, you'll see there are several little flowers and they're side on. They're just side views. You see them? There's one. There's the other one. And then the other thing that we can do at the same time now is the little buds. They're a piece of cake. So the little buds. There you are. Right. So once we've got the theory down, right, this is what I think. Once we've got the theory of the 3 or 4 different views, if you like, then we can crack on. Right, so we've got the full on, we've got the one with the little, where we move the centre, and then we've got the one from the side. So the side one, all that is really, it's like a triangle almost, like that. That's all it is. From that side, like that, right? And then on the side, do another one, like so. There you go. So you could do that. You see, if you did this one, yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Go up like that, do your side bit, do your little serrated bit, then come back down and then put your side in. And then if you want to, you could put more over the back, you know, then what you're doing then is you're tipping the flower a bit more because you're bringing in the, you know, the stamen would be in there then, wouldn't they? Yeah? Let's do another one of those. That one looks a bit ropey. Right, so you go up like a little triangle, do a little serration, come back down like so. That's better, right? Because otherwise it looks too big. Then we'll go like that, and then we'll put another one on the side, like so. Easy. See, and then you're going to put a bit of shadow. That's where the shadow's going to be. Maybe a couple of lines in there. See? And all of a sudden it looks like a flower rather than a beaker for pot noodle. Right, there you go. See, little couple of little stamen at the top so we know what it is. Not a pot noodle. There you go, flower. What am I saying? Piece of cake, eh? Piece of cake. Bombs it. Okay. Are you still with me or am I on my own? Come on in. It's just a doodle, okay? In fact, it's just a cherry blossom. And if you feel inclined, you can Google it and you can get really into it and really enjoy it, you know? There are loads, there are so many different versions of cherry blossom out there, okay? In my garden, in our garden, we must have 4 different sorts. So that's the ones that I've figured out so far. Let's have a look. We've got one more to show you, right? So we've got the one on the side and then the other one is just the bud. So the bud is a piece of cake. It's like a teardrop. It's like an upside down teardrop like that. So you just do that like that and then maybe put another little one down the side if you feel inclined. So that's all it is, just a teardrop. Do another one like that and maybe a little bit down the side like so. Boom. And then when you put your shadow in like so, then it looks like a bud as well. Okay, so no sweat. Full on, move the centre, side on, teardrop, bud, bird. And then the buds, yeah, they're lovely. You soften them up a little bit so they're not so pointy, right? And when you get smaller, what you'll find is when you get smaller, you don't have to pay so much attention. My thought on this is that if you know how to draw it large, then when you go to do it small, it's a lot easier. You know, you don't have to be so pedantic, but it's a lot easier if you've got the idea, because then the overall impression will be lovely. We're not going for perfection here. We're going for the vibe, the feel. Okay, that's what you've got to remember. So now we've done that, right, so we know we've got a rough idea how to do cherry blossoms. Are we happy? Are we happy? Right? Cool. Get your geisha out. Get your geisha out. Which one are you working on? I'm working on this one. This is my one where I work ahead of you, so I know where we're going. And this is the one where I work with you. Look, and look, lovelessly slung yesterday, so it's all right though. You ready? Come on in. Bit late to the party. You haven't missed a thing. Just the cherry blossoms. So what we're going to do now is put the frame in, right? Because if we're going to put the cherry blossoms in, we need to wrap them around something. So let's have a look at my picture. And what you'll see is I put my frame in like that. And then, but look, the flowers are in front of the frame. So you'll already know by now, I'm thinking, you'll realise that we put the frame in, then we draw in our branches, then we put in the flowers, and then after that we put in our inked frame. So the first thing we've got to do, let's take her now, right? First thing we've got to do is find something to draw around, yeah? So this is going to work. So we've got choices, do you remember? Many of you may already have done this. You can use your bowl, can't you? And put a bowl around there. Villeroy and Bosch, very posh, right? So that was the one that we used last week when we were in Italia and in Carmel. Now, if your geisha's a little bit larger, because mine was a little bit larger than this, so I decided to draw around something larger too. So I'm going with my fresh cut dies. I know that loads of you have got these. So let's have a look. Is it that one? I'm going to go actually with the largest one. Right. So this then was what I'm going to use to draw around, because it gives me loads of scope for the thingy, for the cherry blossom, see? So that's what I'm going to use. I mean, if your geisha, you know, if she's huge, right? Really huge. If you've had to advance from a cereal bowl, if you've gone from a cereal bowl to a dinner plate, we may have to look at the size of your geisha, all right? We're only on a bit of A4 paper here, you know. We're not doing a mural. It's not a mural. Mural. I know. Don't tell me. I just remember seeing an art project in a magazine and it was called a mural, and I thought that was very funny. So yeah, if you're on the mural, then maybe you need to revisit. And that was what I haven't told you. Do you remember we did give you a download, didn't we? A digi-download, as they say, of the geisha at a nice size, a bite-size kind of geisha for you. So you can always download her. But for the sake of this job, I'm going to draw around this. What about you? What are you going to draw around? You decide. And the way I'm going to do this now is just go like so. I know this is a bit large for where the camera is set. Forgive me for that. But I just wanted to make sure, right, that that you can see exactly what I'm up to. Now, if I'm using something to draw around like this, here comes the crafter. Right, all I'm going to do is just put a couple of bits of low tap masking tape in place so it holds it in place while I'm going, and then I'll just lightly, I'll go on the inside like that until I hit the boulders. Yeah, mind her head. Right, that's the inside, and then I'll go around the outside as well. Piece of cake this is, isn't it? Right, let me just do that. Around the outside as well. Just gives me a good... I'm going to do exactly the same thing later with a micron pen, you see. Right, and then this bit, if I feel I need that guidance here as well, then I can give myself the guidance. Right, there you go. Anyway, there's a sleeve. So when I take that away, that's in place. Have you got that too? Excellent. These are good. If you don't know what they are, they're just for us crafters. We use them as for die cutting, nested circles, fresh cuts. They're lovely. They're very useful anyway. But you need a lot more gear than just that. You need to be able to cut them out. You need a die cutting machine and all sorts of jazz. So if you haven't got a die cutting machine, stick to the dinner plate for now. Okay. Right. So now we're going to put in our branch so that we can dress it, right? So this is where, first of all, let's put a couple, what do you think? We'll probably put a few more boulders in, won't we? So let's put a few more boulders in. Right, let's just keep going. These are more patterns, more opportunities for patterns, aren't they? That'll do. That'll work. If I decide to put more in, I can. It's up, you know, that'll do. Don't want to go mad. Probably don't even need that one. I'm going to put the tree there. Right, you ready? So now let's have a look at what I've done, and you'll see that it goes up. Don't worry about the flowers, I'll put them in afterwards. We're going to put the branches in, and now you're going to decide where are you going to go. So let's start with the branch. Let me give you a clue. When you do this, rather than go on the side like you hold a pen, if you hold it up, like literally like this, watch. If you hold your pen like that, you know when you look at a cherry blossom, the trunk, and it's quite jaggedy, isn't it? It's quite interrupted. If you hold your pen like that, especially when we go to ink it, you'll find it does that automatically. It just works. It's a lot. You've got a lot less control over the pen, and it will go jagged on you with no effort. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come along here, right? Let's just go for it. So the tree's coming up here like that. You can always change it. It's nothing's written in stone. And then I'm going to bring a branch out here like that. Easy. Maybe I'll bring this one. Will be quite a thin one, like that. Then I might put a big fatter one up there over the top. I might bring another one down in here just cause. So step away from it. Have a look. Decide where you want to put your branch. There you go. So I've got one there, one there. I think I might want to go up a bit. I'm going up a bit. Right. So this big trunk is still coming, isn't it? Go like that. There you go. That one's going that way. Just keep coming up over the... That'll do. See that trunk now? That's going in over the back. That's gone now. That's up there now, behind. And all this is just going to... What we're doing now is we're just bringing in that one there. Maybe I'll bring another one in like that. I reckon, yeah? See what I mean? So what you're doing is you can decide how far you want to come. Yeah? Whether you want, because some of them, they're quite gnarly, aren't they? So you might want to come in like that. If you're not happy with that, see, this is where you can change it all. Look, if I want to do a bit gnarly, that's what the rubber's for. Yeah, I prefer that. That looks more like it. See? And then this one, I'm going to come in like that. I think I'll come down before I go up. That might look good. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So you've got that going on. So what you've got now is a rough idea of where you want your branches to go. Give yourself a couple of minutes to do this. This is key, right? So we're going to go up a little bit. It's worth knowing, isn't it? Right? I'm going to make mine really jaggedy and old. There you go. Then I can get up over there a bit more. Are you all right? Are we enjoying this? Hello from Düsseldorf in Germany. Grüß dich, Gisela. Schön, dass du da bist. Right, here we go. So we can come up and we can make knobbly bits, can't we? I mean, it has to be a bit thicker as it comes towards the trunk, otherwise the whole thing would just break off, wouldn't it? So as it gets towards the ends, you know, as it gets toward the end of the branches, up here, for example, it's going to get thinner, isn't it? Right, that's going to be thinner and it's going to get a little bit thicker, a little bit thicker. And as it comes towards the trunk, it's going to get a bit fatter, right? So get your rubber out, do a bit of that. And then you can decide. And don't forget, you don't want to completely cover this area because we haven't even decided yet what we're putting in here. I don't know. Je ne sais pas. We could do a water house. We could do a little fella. Or not. Have you decided what you're going to call her yet? What you're going to call your geisha? Have you thought of a name yet? Have you thought of a name yet? What about Fred? Fred. No, not Fred. Frida. No, not Frida. Fred. Fred. Now all I can think of is Lynn Bishop's husband in a kimono. Right, but I digress. Think of a name for your beautiful geisha. Have a look at her. Decide. What's her name? Grace? Hope? Gambate? Do you remember yesterday I told you Gambate? Gambate. Cherry? Don't work, does it? Chantal? Yesterday, Gambate. Do you remember? It means, in Japanese, according to my dear friend Debbie, do your best. And that's all we can do, isn't it? That's all we can do. All we can do is do our best. And, look, I keep fiddling. I'm not even on the flowers here, sorry. Just adding a bit of shade around her head. What's her name going to be? Give it some thought. Right. Have you got your pebbles or your boulders? Blimey, if they're pebbles, we've got problems. All right, these are not pebbles. These are fully blown boulders. But what they also are is brilliant opportunities to put some more patterns in later. See? Which looks like, they look like fields and flowers. I mean, you've got to use your imagination. But when these are in, it's going to look like fields and flowers. And it's just lovely, all right? Now, let me see. This is what I did. So it's up to you if you want to just dive in with your flowers. But what I did was I started making circles. So I put circles. That was where I put my big one. Then I put... And this is where it gets interesting. So I just started putting circles. And it doesn't matter. Look, just circles. Because when you look at cherry, even if you put a circle and you do a side one in, Doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're getting your composition, right? So the little ones are up this end for sure, and then they get bigger. They certainly get bigger in the front, don't they, as they come this way. So just put your circles in wherever you fancy. See, these are going to be little ones because they're further away, right? And you do clusters of them. Because when you, don't worry about leaves, we'll sort the leaves out after we've done the flowers. The leaves, it's interesting, when you look at a cherry blossom, down my mum's road, there's loads of cherry blossoms, like the whole road. They must have planted them up, you know, 40 years ago. And so the cherry blossoms are just really well established, beautiful. But when you look at them, you can't really see any leaves. All you can see is just a great big explosion of pink or white. Really lovely. So say we're going to put, if we do this, what this does is, it gives you a real idea of where to go to. Do you see? It gives you a great direction, really. It's like everything that we're doing here. So you just put your old gnarled thing in by just jiggling along, putting your pen upward, right? And then when you've done that, then you put your circles in where you're going to put your flowers. You want some larger ones, bring them up the front here, yeah? If you want some smaller ones, they go up the end. And that's all I did. Let me just explain. That is all I did to get the layout. See, I can still put more in if I want to. I've got plenty of room for leaves, haven't I? Are we all right with this? I hope I'm not overwhelming you here. I don't think I am I? This is all right, isn't it? It's only a pencil. Only a bit of copy paper. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what we doodle. But we've got to doodle something, haven't we? And it's like keeping going, you know. If you keep going and you get that sense of achievement, I've heard it so many times. I was chuffed to bits. I nearly said chuffed to knickers. I was chuffed to bits when I figured out how to do a cherry blossom. And when you persevere with it, it makes you feel good, you know. But if you're not in the mood for cherry blossoms, the cherry blossom police aren't going to come knocking on your door, love. Just don't worry about it. It's okay. We're here to have fun, right? If you've done the geisha, then the cherry blossom is not as difficult as the geisha, as Fred. Okay, Fred was more challenging than this. Right, come on, let's have a go. Just let's put a few flowers in. The larger ones are going to be easier, I think. So let's do a couple of larger ones, right? And then we'll get going. See, so what we're going to do is we're going to got our circle, haven't we? We've done that. We'll put our centre in. This is going to, I want to put one of these in where it's wrapping on this one. So I'm going to go up, do my little thing. Just put another one in, like so. Put this one in, like so. Then I'm going to come round, I'm doing one of those wrappy ones here, right? And this is a really good lesson here, look, said the perfectionist, in just keep going, because, right, and then that one comes around the bottom like that. And then we'll put our things in, our stamen, like so, right. That's the first one. This is a really good lesson in not only doing cherry blossom, but also in not getting hung up on the detail. All you've got to know is you've got to do 5 petals and then a couple of sticks inside with a dot on. That's all. Look, because when they get small like that, you think anyone's going to notice that one. Now look at this one. This is even smaller. So now, but I'm still going to do it all in pencil first. Now Now I'm going wrong here. I'm making little hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And then I'm going to do a little wrap round the bottom of those ones. Hey, hey. Nice. See? That's all it is. And when you get really tiny, This is where you can relax, because much as the perfectionist in you is saying, oh, but it doesn't look like a cherry blossom. I was staring out the kitchen window this morning and I was looking at the cherry blossom outside the kitchen window, and you can't define the shape of the flowers. It's impossible. It's just a huge, beautiful burst of pink. If anything, it looks like this. It's like that. It's just a load of that, all in pink, like that, and then another one like that. It just looks like a mass. So you could always, if all else fails, you just do that all over it. But I think that the beauty here is to actually go into the doodle and properly do your flowers. So if you were wondering what to do today, what to doodle today, hey, listen. There you go. And then you do little things inside. And that's how you get another one done. And then do another one. And you've already decided where you want to put them. So we're going to go on like that. And you can decide, are they the ones from the front that we learn? Are they the ones that are going to be, you know, with the thing on the bottom? You're going to do those ones? It's up to you. It's your cherry blossom tree. It's your geisha. You okay? You happy? Are you happy? What's today? Thursday. So how are we doing for time? Oh, we've got plenty of time. And then if we want to do a couple core, I tell you what, I might have to sharpen my pencil here. If I want to do the real tight ones up the top, the little tiny ones. I think they're more challenging. I've just got an HB pencil. That's all I'm using. HB, easy to rub out. And actually I'm going to, now I'm settling into this, I'm also going to use me to lean on. So let's go up here a little bit further. And you get your shape. I'm going to do tiny little ones like this. Cool. This is lovely. I'm enjoying this. I think I'll put me day Maideners on. I really, oh, that's better. That's better. Right, and then at the end, right, let me think. I want to make a little, let me do a bud. So that's a little teardrop. There you go. That wasn't exactly hard, was it? Let's do one on the side. So that one's going to be like that, like a soft V with a little serrated top, and then a little, that'd be nice. Oh yeah, they're easy. I might do a few more of them. Right, another one of them. Little serrated edge, bit round the side, boom. Could actually put a couple of little, oh yeah, okay, so add a couple of little stamen with dots, and straight away it looks more like a hibiscus tree, but it's all right, doesn't matter. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I like that one. Right, one more, so you go like that, like that. How are you enjoying this one? See, the thing is, for me personally, I can only speak for myself. I really need something to do, and I need a list, and I can't just stumble from one thing to the other. I have to have a bit of a direction. This is lovely. Let's do a bigger one. And so something like this, that is, it looks like a huge task until you start breaking it down. Now this one's going to be a bit bigger than my circle was. That's okay. But it's actually really nice because you're building on it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, except you're creating your own art. See, it's already coming together. It's going to take ages though. Is that a problem for anyone? See, for me, I love that. because, right, let's concentrate now. Up, down, divot, next one. I think I might do one of those ones that you, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. Make it a bit bigger and then come around the bottom. And then it looks like it's, yeah, I'm getting good at those ones. Stamen. Wait till you ink them up. Once you've done all that, and then you ink them up. That'll be really, really cool. We all right with this? Are we happy? Let's have a look. What else we got? Right, so then you can, so then, see, because this is real time as well, this is like, I can't fast forward this because we're doing this together. And that's the whole purpose of our daily doodle in the SHAC, isn't it? She lovely. She's looking at me, look, little eyes. She's like, come on, get a wriggle on. So every single one of these circles tells me exactly where I want to put, a little bud. That's nice. See, buds are easy. Buds we can put at the ends, like that. Buds. You can make them as small as you like, make them as large as you like. I might put a bigger flower there. Get rid of that bit. Like there. This would be a nice one. I'm going to put a nice one there, a bit of a centerpiece. Right. So you're going to go up. Just got to get your eye in. Once you get your eye in with the petals, it's not so bad, you know. Like that. And then this one's going to be a jaggedy one. And that one's going to be a jaggedy one, because I'm going to bring that bottom bit round so it looks a bit more. There you go. It's very addictive, this, girls and boys. I can tell you. I know what I'm going to be doing when I finish doing me. Cool, I like that. See? Because you know when we put the shadow in, it's going to be brilliant. Right. So can you see all right? Am I close in enough? Let's go to that third camera and let's offer up the cherry blossom. Let's have a look. It's a little bit, see how close I can get. It'll be a bit fuzzy to start with until the camera catches it. See, little tiny ones. It's good, isn't it? How about that then? So what I want to show you as well, I mean, the thing is, you see, I'm very comfortable. If we stay in Japan, it's a long way to go. If we stay in Japan for half of next week as well, you know, and we do a water house and we do the patterns and we do other I don't care. I'm happy to be in Japan, you know, because there are so many different elements here. And it's not a race. It's the opposite. We're supposed to be trying to calm down, aren't we? We're not supposed to be panicking because it's going to take forever to do the cherry blossom. Well, hey ho, where are you going? Have you got plans? I'm caught up with all my ironing. I'm sick of Sherlock Holmes. I've had him up to here. 6th series I'm on now. He's quite good actually. It's called Elementary. It's an American series. It's good. I really like the bloke that plays Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, I digress. The point is, right, we're here, aren't we, for the long haul in lockdown. And it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take a little bit longer. So we may as well just hang out together and stay in Japan and do a little bit more doodling and work out a beautiful background and figure out a name for her, okay? If you felt inclined, what you could do, oh, these are so strong, it's like, let's have a look. What you could do, if you felt inclined, is today, I'm going to do it, is do all the flowers, and then tomorrow we could put in the branches together and the leaves. And then the other thing is, and you could do this in pencil, let me just show you the pattern that I've decided to do. See, I wanted to keep it quite simple because I thought this is going to get right busy here. So what I did was to show you this pattern. It's really nice. It's just so that you've got something to do if you've also done all your ironing and you've had enough of Sherlock Holmes. Right, there you go. Well, it is a good one. Right, see? So this is very, very easy to do. Let me show you it, and then perhaps you'll feel like having a go. And if you're watching this, right, so you've got your tubes, haven't you? You've got your frame. What you're going to do is you're going to put lines about, I don't know, what is it, 1/2 inch apart? No, not that much. Not that much. About that far apart. What's that mean? What does that mean on the telly? About that far apart, Barbara? Right, see, 1/2 inch is way too much. So it's about 1/4 inch. Yeah, just over 1/4 inch. Or just under 1 centimetre. Let's not get too hung up on the detail. But I just wanted to say about that far, okay? Like that. You'll soon figure it out. And then what you're going to do, when you've done that, and this is, what's important with this is the sequence. It's a simple little pattern. Then you're going to do a V like that on the inside. My head's not in the way, is it? Right, so you do a V, and then you do another V on the inside. So you go V, and then another little V. Then you go V, do it slowly, and you'll find that helps. It's a nice little doodle, like that. See, that one I've come over too far, but hey-ho, that's all right. That'll do, like that. Shouldn't join up, but it does. Now, the thing is, when we pen it, and I'll just show you so you understand, when we pen it, I made mine here, even though the line, we put the lines in to get the distance, when we pen it, what we're going to do is do the V first and then that line. So you do the V like so and then the line. And that way, it doesn't look like a ban the bomb sign. You haven't gone right through the V, you see. So you do the V and then the line. And you just go round. It's an uncluttered, very elegant Japanese pattern. But when it's in its entirety, I think it looks very, very pretty. And it creates, wait till we put the shadow on. When we do the shadow, you'll see, you put the shadow on the inside here, but when you put the shadow around the tube, around here, this is when it really starts to look tubular. See, so you put a shadow around there, like so. I've jumped to my masterpiece now, haven't I? Right, but you can see, it's very easy to do. But I was thinking that we could just keep going. If you fancy. I'm not going to abandon this. There you go. And you'll see when you see how this looks really nice. So you get your shadow in there, right? And then you put your shadow in the top as well. I haven't erased the little pencil marks yet. But when you put the shadow in there and the shadow in the bottom, it starts to look like a tube. And that's the whole idea, is that all the way around, it's going to create a beautiful depth behind the cherry blossoms, right? So how are we doing? Are we comfortable? Are we comfortable with this? Have you enjoyed this? I do hope so. I hope we haven't had any calamities. I hope that you can hear me. I hope that there's not something going on and I'm oblivious and just cracking on undeterred here. That would be typical. That would be typical. So here we are. Let's make a plan, right? If you could, before 10 o'clock tomorrow, how about you put in, there you go, you put in all your flowers. I mean, if you want to add some leaves, the leaves are easy. We're just going to put little simple leaves in like this. If you fancy putting leaves in, I'd put them right in at the end. Tiny little leaves at the top, larger leaves down the bottom. Yeah? We're dab hands at leaves now. We won't worry about serrated edges and all that. This is an interpretation of a cherry blossom. It's a doodle. So tiny little leaves up this end, larger leaves down here. Do clusters of leaves if you feel like it, if you fancy. If you want to make a distinction, you can always, you know, put a line in, can't you? So that you put the vein in the leaf. That'll look lovely. So you put all your flowers in, and then put all your leaves in, and then when you've done that, if you fancy doing this all the way round as well, that'd be brilliant. And then tomorrow, when we come back, because you will have inked all these, right? You'll ink all these, and then tomorrow what we'll do is we'll go in with the pen and we'll put the branch, the trunk and everything in, and we'll join up all the flowers that we've drawn with our ink. If you can and you're up for it, you can go alone. You don't need me to show you, right? But I'm not going to do this until tomorrow. I'm not going to put the branches in until tomorrow. So you're going to have that to look forward to. And then mañana, what we'll do is, if you fancy it tomorrow, maybe it'd be Monday, I don't know. You can't push the river on this. This takes as long as it takes, okay? But perhaps if you've got your pencils, your colouring pencils, your pergoliners, right, work on a bit of pink. We'll go mono. We won't throw all the colours in the case at it. We'll put some pink in, a little bit of brown, you know, some really lovely tone in tone. So we'll stick with the pencils, we'll do the shading, we'll get some nice pinks going on the blossoms, maybe put some pink in her kimono. Have we done any stretching today? We'll add a couple of butterflies as well. Should we do that? Let's do that. Tomorrow, we'll learn how to do a couple of little butterflies as well. Stretch your neck, smile, smile. It's good for you. It's good for you. Smile, stretch. Ah, isn't that lovely? Doesn't that feel good? Look to the right, look to the left. This is our daily doodle workout, and I love it, and I love that you keep me company. I hope that you enjoy it. Gambate, stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. God bless.